What's up, nerds? How's it going? Welcome to Memoria Polis. Well, I should say welcome back, right? Welcome back to Memoria Polis. That's right. We are back at it. Now, I approached the first 597 cycles in a wrong way because I kind of noticed something. In fact, let future Jason explain what is happening for this next cycle. All right. I think actually now we're starting to get into the vibe of it. All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Jason. I'm looking forward to editing this video. Not really. So here's the thing. Okay, at the start of our session, this is what our city looks like. Okay, now the game plan is this. This right here, and this one right here. These two farms that we put in the beginning, they need to go. And the reason why they need to go is because I want the city center, all right, of the old city, I want it to expand out. I want to push it out even further. Okay. Now, the trick is that we have to get rid of these farms because remember, beautification is a thing, right? So if this area is being worked on, nobody's going to want to move in. So I'm going to have to remove this. So that's side quest 1, if you will. Okay. Side quest 2 is to ensure the expansion of the city area. So that means we're going to need cultural buildings. Cultural buildings require resources. So the original game plan called for the main goal of building a wonder. Where this wonder is going to go, I don't know, to be completely honest, because in this direction, we have some resources that are untapped, like sand, which is going to be a really big thing. There's also a bridge there that kind of leads into another flat area that we could use to settle. Up here, we have more rocks and then also more sand. But then also here, we have more sand and more rocks and more trees. So it's just a matter, what do we want? In what direction do we want to go to? Now, the final thing that we're going to do is also make it to the medieval period. And we're going to stop there. So we're going to put down our medieval center and then choose a faction that we are going to want to usurp the craftsmen. All right, so that seems pretty well and thought out. So we are going to plan, like he said, or I guess like I said, what we've decided. I guess it's me, right? What I have decided was that we're going to go ahead and try to expand out as best we can. Let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to spend the next 100 cycles farming as much resources as I can. Okay, so we're hoping to build up on sand, hoping to build up on clay, stone, wood, and then of course the secondary resources, and that's going to be tiles, bricks, and carved out stone. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, I know for me, sometimes I am scared to double dip because I don't want the resources to actually farm out of existence, but I think it's okay if we do that this particular go around because I need the production. I need the production of sand. Sand is something like I'm struggling and have been struggling because I've actually been playing this a bunch of times, and every single time sand is usually the one that is killing me because when I put down bricks and tile, I think it's bricks. Is it bricks? I always forget. Let me see. Which one is it? Tile. Tile takes up 21 sand for every 3 tiles. So it becomes a pain in the butt. So, and I can't update the quarry anymore. Like this is it. It's done. So and I need blueprints too. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually update these 2 buildings so I can actually start farming. What? All right. So a lot hasn't really happened because here's the thing. I kind of realized that I need to expand my resource production, right? Expanding my resource production costs lots of resources that I am really desperate for. So I had to expand one thing, production of wood, so I've added a few more lumber camps. On top of that, I've also added a couple of small quarries. with various demands for stone, clay, and then I also decided to add a brickworks and a tillery because I need the tiles in order for me to build up some of the more advanced cultural items. Now, speaking of cultural things, I have constructed a few new cultural buildings. One is going to be, I took this one right here, this forum. Now, I've already had the forum. I had the forum over here. And then this building right here, the Halia, which was a new political building. So I ended up focusing on safety because I'm looking at these buttons, these particular icons here. And I'm trying to meet the satisfaction because ultimately what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to meet the needs. And as you can see, in terms of resources, I'm kind of like lacking behind in terms of population satisfaction, faction power, kudos for that one, and then currently building points. I guess I should read up on how to get building points in certain things, but overall, I'm doing pretty bad in Antiquity. Hopefully when I get to the Middle Ages, it'll be a little bit different. The expectations will be a little bit more understanding. Now, the next thing that I need to do is, well, really focus on banking more resources. Oh, that's right. I have enough money because it was going to cost me like 200 and something. 208 gold coins to remove one farm. Hey, this is the editor. I just wanted to let you know that Nerding Around had enough money to remove the farm. Now, what he's going to do is put the market on top of the spot where the farm was and expand some resource farming. That's it. Alright, so we've made it to 797 out of 1200 cycles, and I have to say we are running really behind. Because here's the thing. I need to have 2,000 blueprints to unlock the wonder. And I went ahead and took a look at the different factions. I have 3 factions that are currently either on their way to having 40... the amount of power that they need to have, right? So the current faction power for the Craftsmen is 43. The military faction, 27. I haven't really been focusing on military culture buildings. The political class, 11. The new science faction is at 2. And 38, which is going to be the merchants. And then 36, which is going to be the political class. So now I need to figure out, well, really, to be completely honest, I do actually want to honor the craftsmen. So we will stick with the Craftsmen Wonder, but it's going to cost me 2,000 blueprints, which I need to bank almost immediately. I need to get to 2,000, and I also need to really get a lot. I think it's like 600 coins to build the doggone wonder. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so it actually costs 500 coins. I might be able to get that if I start banking my blueprints now and maybe do a little bit of trading. I could probably sell some excess stuff now that I have a market open. Let's see, what can I sell? But I'm gonna go ahead and continue pushing on because while we have advanced a little bit, I still haven't moved this farm. It's very much been filled in, which is really nice. And I'm still kind of like chopping wood here. Focus on the blueprints first and unlock it. Alright, so we've actually came into the point to where I can actually, I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this one. 2,123. I actually came in with a clutch. I need 500 gold coins, 675 clay, and 50 workers. I think I can probably get this before we even hit, before we actually even hit, probably before we hit 1,000, we might be able to get enough workers and the rest of the resources. Because really, the only thing we need, the 500 coins are coming in, and they're going to be coming in. 675 clay, I think that's doable within the next couple of cycles, and then 50 workers. Definitely. I think we can do this. All right. Let's kind of like fast forward. Took out this farm and I put it back over here. I put it over here. And I probably didn't mention that. So now they're building. Oh man, there's a lot of decisions. Also, too, I want to get this service building. I have this one, I have this one, and I have this one now. This one is actually pretty cool because this allows me to build ramparts. And ramparts have a way of dividing out districts, which allows them to grow exponentially, because it's kind of like they're blocking out the ugliness on the outside and making everything pretty. So it's definitely something. It's definitely something cool to see. So I don't know how we're gonna do this, but I do want to try and get that building. If this space is still not filled in, then I'll put it here. It just makes sense to build that building there. But in terms of the Wonder, I think I'm gonna build the Wonder out here. This to me makes sense to build it out in this general area. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of like bum rush this thing. Look at that, guys. Look right there, Nerd Nation. 929 and 680. Look at that. We have it now. So now this is going to be pretty awesome because this is going to take 150 cycles to construct. 150 cycles, guys. And we're going to plant this sucker right here. That's right. We're going to put it right here. This is the perfect spot for it. Maybe here? No, I don't want to do that. I think this right here is the best. So we're going to go ahead and put down everything, and we're going to have the main goal is going to be met. Isn't that awesome, guys? The main goal is finally met, and that is we have built our Wonder before the epoch, the epoch has ended. Alright, so there we are. Okay, so we can't improve anything until we have about 400 coins and 1,800 citizens, but let's take a look at this building. We're going to select this building, and we can actually start putting, let's say this is the old city, right? Around the walls. All right, what is that going to cost us? 30 workers. Ooh, 60 workers for this one. No, I think this is going to be fine. So we'll hold on to this. Internal attraction 300. So this is going to attract inside. It's going to increase the attraction by 30. All right. So I think, yeah. So let's wait. Oh, that's going to be 80 cycles. We might not have enough time. But it constructs walls around the cities or around certain districts of the city, and that increases. A wild daughter appears. Now, we're going to go ahead and just continue to push on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and increase the production of carpentry because we have a surplus of wood, right? We now have a surplus of wood, which is crazy. Before, we were struggling with wood. We're still struggling with clay. Clay is still a struggle right now. That is a struggle session. And it's wild. It is absolutely insane how much of a struggle session that actually is. There we go. We can finally increase the capital city, or the capital center, because there it is. There's the Wonder, and then now I can go ahead and put this workshop right here. Build. What can I do out here? What are we missing? We're missing belonging and creativity. Confirm. There we go. And they're going to be expanding out. Now look, you can't. There it is, right there. The walls around the city, right? And so if I wanted to extend out, it just adds another set of walls around it, and it just determine, like, this is the enlarged section, so this would be like the inner ring, kind of like Attack on Titan. So you have like the outer walls and then the inner walls, or whatever, the inner ring or outer ring, whatever. But right here, this is what I mean. It's kind of silly, but it's also kind of cool, and I kind of get it. All right, let's continue on. We have made it to the next age. Many cycles have passed since you settled on these lands. Everything around you is changing. Customs are markedly different. Drapes are adorned with new embroidery and weaving techniques. Jewelry seems... Let me read that again. Alright, so we've made it to the next age, guys. Medieval period, here we come. Now, many cycles have passed since you settled on these lands. Everything around you is changing. Customs are markedly different. Drapes are adorned with new embroidery and weaving techniques. Jewelry seems refined with new stones. Hairstyles enhanced with mysterious accessories. Unexpected discoveries were reported from all over the region. New food, new country, new people, new language, and new religion. Laws were overturned, and society became increasingly structured. Amid all of this excitement, you sense the new era is approaching. Alright, time to us to physically change the age now. Alright, now comes the interesting part of the game. Now, with this part, what we have to do is we get to keep some of the buildings. Okay? So, allow me to set the stage here for the medieval period. Okay, so let's say as we transition into the medieval period from Antiquity, there was some type of religious upheaval in the city. The religious faction didn't like the fact that they were forgotten, or on the verge of being forgotten because of science, politics, and the idea of just making money came with us leaving religion behind. So there was some type of religious upheaval within the city. Maybe there was a prophet that showed up and he gained a lot of following, and now what's going to happen is we're going to turn away from craftsmen, and we're going to turn away from the monetary goods of the world and more focus on more of the metaphysical. So maybe that's what happened, because I'm going to choose the religious faction in favor during the medieval period. So we're going to focus primarily on constructing the medieval faction up and leaving the craftsmen behind. And maybe towards the end, I'll start building up the political or military as we move into the Renaissance, or the intelligentsia. That's a word that I struggle with. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to the religious building. Okay. I think the forum we're going to hold on to. Now, with that in mind, we are going to go with the priest faction, and this is why we're going to kind of like focus on it. So the population is regularly makes offerings of random resources. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. Here we go. So from 1200 to 1200 to 1800, that's when our period ends. So now comes where do we put our new building? Do we build it here? Or do we build it here? Going in. Well, we can't really do much in this area, so I think, you know, maybe later on we'll move into that region. But maybe right here, right? I think this would be perfect. Alright. Yep, that's where it's going to go. This is where we're going to build it. And that's where we are going to stop. Alright guys, Nerd Nation, thank you for staying with me this entire time. I do appreciate it. We are going to be moving into the medieval period in the next video, or going through it. I don't know. So, and once again, if you saw something that I could have done better, let me know in the comment section. Alright, if you like the series so far, leave a comment too. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other. Nerd out.